Hey everybody, it's time for another Perry's Inside Scoop as the Orange continue this road swing. This is the middle game of 3 straight on the road, also the middle of 3 straight at home for Florida State. Orange coach Dino Babers is with us, and Coach, one of your predecessors here was famous for using the expression, you're in the deep end of the pool. And you're feeling that right now, right? I mean, Clemson at home, Carolina on the road, very difficult challenges, and now on the road against an unbeaten Florida State team.
You know, one thing is good is that we've been in the ACC Atlantic ever since we've been in here, even though conferences are going away next year. So we're used to playing them. They're really, really hot. They're playing extremely well. Coach Norvell's really got them going. And, you know, they may be on a national championship run.
Do you sense that from them? Because that's what you forget. They had a nice winning streak at the end of last season, and they really kind of got it rolling here. They score 30 points every game. And Florida State's a little different. College football in general is a little different when Florida State's at the top and woofing, and it feels like that's where they are.
Yeah, it's going to be a sellout crowd going down there. They just seem like they're really in sync, and the team is really together in what's going on. They got a lot of seniors on defense that came back, and then they have that, you know, one of the best quarterbacks in the country.
Let's get into the cumulative effect of what's happening here. We knew all along, from July on, earlier than that, you're looking, hey, 3 games on the schedule here. You know it's going to be difficult. It's proven to be that way. And the challenge, I wondered how that is met in your team room and on the practice field when you think about, yeah, you're not just going on the road against good teams. It is sellout crowds. There is momentum on the other side, and it's not just a challenge in terms of the team's talent, but you're getting as much as you can handle.
Absolutely. And the biggest thing, again, is bringing along the entire family to how much detail is needed to take one of those people down. And, you know, we get it. It's David versus Goliath. But last time I checked, that story ended okay.
Sure. I was thinking this morning a little bit about the way we talked about the Army game and Army's approach in general and the service academies. Like, look, we've got to really play clean football. We will admit we don't have the same talent as there is across the way. What can you borrow from that in terms of what it takes for you to pull off a win like this, to be competitive in a game like this, and to have your best showing?
I think the biggest thing is anytime when you're playing a team this hot at home and it's doing the things that they're doing and they're ranked in the top 5, is first of all, people don't like to say it, but they're going to have to help you a little. They're going to have to help you a little. But what you've got to do is you can't hurt yourself at all, and then it's got to be a game. Some kind of way you got to hold serve to halftime to whether, you know, it's within 14 points either way, where it's a game. You just can't let them get away from you quickly, or it doesn't turn out well.
You know, the Carolina game was so interesting. Clearly adversity early. The blocked punt that goes for a Carolina first down has been talked about plenty to this point. I wondered how you evaluate your team right now and how you get better at just not having one knockout blow. It feels like something like that at adversity, and there is maybe some shoulder slumping that I know you don't want to see.
I don't think it was shoulder slumping. I really thought we had the call. Everyone else in Syracuse really thought we had the call, and we didn't get the call. Okay, that happens all the time. The other stuff is what was the issue. The other stuff was how well they played on offense, how well they played on defense, and they didn't hurt themselves. And they got their playmakers isolated, and they found enough time to get the ball in the air and have those guys make plays. That running back was big. We hit him, we tackled him in the first half, but it's one of those guys you needed more than one guy to bring him down. He was a big cat. And their offensive line and defensive line played extremely well. Now you're at Florida State, and you could have the exact same thing happen. We've got to find a way to have some success early.
Early in the games, obviously, is an important part, and in the trenches also an important part. Right?
Absolutely.
One other thing I kind of was thinking about as far as putting the Carolina game to bed, what did it say to you that you talk about individuals sort of bouncing back from a little adversity? Justin Barron busts up his hand. He comes back in this game, had a career high in tackles, and probably could have had a couple more. You got a response from Jaden Bellamy, his first sort of extended action. He comes through for you. Umari Hatcher stepped up into a void a little bit.
You know, young people getting better, taking coaching, getting better during the week, and then having an opportunity to have some success during the game. Now, Justin Barron, he doesn't have that C on his chest because he's a good-looking cat that can do commercials. I mean, you're talking about a stud, and he went out and played that way and played effectively. Where I even heard some people say, hey, we've got to have somebody better than a guy that can play with one hand. Some people play injured better than other people play at 100%. Now, there's not a lot of people like that, but we're fortunate to have a couple.
I thought you were starting to say that some people play better injured than they do whole, which is obviously not really true, but there might be a mindset of whether it's attention to detail, ferocity, and if anybody's that's going to apply to it might be Justin Barron. He just seems to have the attitude of, okay, well, if I'm down one hand, then I've got to have more heart.
That's exactly right, and he's got enough heart to give.
All right, so Florida State this week, everybody knows about it on the road, and the planting the spear, and really cool environment, another sellout, and that in a way is nothing new, right, when you talk about one more time up the hill here.
You know, it's really what football is about. As a coach, you may go, oh my God, it's a sellout. We've got noise issues. We got da-da-da-da. But when you look at your stepsons, when you look at your players, it's exactly what they came to college football for. It's exactly the reason why they came to Syracuse in the ACC. They wanted to be a part of those games. And guess what? It's the reason why I'm here, because I wanted to be a part of those games too.
Yeah, you talk about when, transfers in and out and whatever, and that whole idea is this is what you sign up for if you're trying to play major college football. Whether you're at the top of the conference, middle of the pack, or whatever, everybody wants to see where do you measure up, and you find that out in games like this.
There's no doubt. Mike Tyson was really good, but one time you got a motivated guy by the name of Buster Douglas that had an uppercut, and sometimes stuff just happens.
Let's just spend a couple seconds on the FSU personnel, and I wonder what, there's so much of it that has to get your attention when you think about Jared Verse, and certainly his name is familiar around here with his time at Albany, but Jordan Travis, the quarterback, two huge, very talented wide receivers, Trey Benson, the running backs coming off maybe his best career game. How do you get your arms around all that's important there?
I think the biggest thing is we need to come out and play and worry about us. They are outstanding. They are very good. Okay, now we need to make sure we play at 100. We play our best game. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to make every play and a guy's not going to run by us because they're extremely talented and they have a lot of God-given ability. But we need to play our best game so that we know, regardless of how the chips fall, that we've got a second half of this season where we can do some things as well, and maybe we can affect some things.
All right, sounds good. Best of luck on the road, okay?
Thank you, Matt.
On the road, you know that. I know Willie Nelson's not exactly in your playlist, but
wait a minute! Don't knock Willie Nelson.
You've got quite a bit.
Come on now, Johnny Cash was one of my dad's favorite. I grew up. I know all the Johnny Cash songs. Sure. Unfortunately,
you don't want to say too much, or Florida State will be playing those songs for you too. We're back with the Perry's Inside Scoop. Perry's is proudly made in New York.